Hey everyone, Nick Bristow here from Geekly Inc., R Bristow on Twitter. I was recently invited to check out the Switch, Nintendo's new console, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts from the preview event. The Nintendo Switch is a hybrid that is part tablet, part home console. It allows you to dock and play on the TV, or at any time you can remove it and play on the toilet. It's completely seamless. Mid-game, you can pick it up and be playing in seconds. It launches on March 3rd for $299, and there's two packages you can buy. You can buy the standard gray one with the dark gray controllers, or you can get the neon one, which has a neon red controller and a neon blue controller. The actual tablet itself is the same dark gray, black color in both packages. The screen is a 6.2-inch capacitive touchscreen with a 720p resolution. It's about twice as thick as your average iPad, and it gets about 2 to 6 hours of battery life. Nintendo is claiming Zelda will get you around 3 hours. There's a micro SD slot, so you can expand the internal memory, which is out of the box 32 gigabytes. It charges over USB-C, which is also how the dock works. So you can use portable power packs like you would use for your phone. It has Bluetooth, which I believe is to connect the controllers. The Nintendo couldn't confirm whether or not you could hook up external Bluetooth headsets. One of the things I noticed while playing is it gets a little hot. It's not passively cooled. There are fans in there, and it does seem to be pushing itself pretty hard. That being said, it is probably the most advanced thing Nintendo has ever put out, and it does feel like a solid, expensive piece of tech. The system comes with two Joy-Cons, a left and a right. Each one can be used independently of each other for multiplayer gaming, which honestly is one of the coolest things about the system. You can bring your Switch with you on the bus or train, and if someone wants an impromptu race in Mario Kart, you can just rip them off and play. The first thing that stood out to me about the Joy-Cons, though, is the sticks. They're small, and they don't travel that far. It kind of reminds me of the Vita. The Pro Controller, on the other hand, feels a lot nicer. So much, in fact, I pre-ordered one after playing with it. When the Joy-Cons are in the included grip, it's a little better, and I forgot about the tiny sticks after a minute or two. So let's talk about the power of the system itself. It's pretty good. It's stronger than a Wii U, and the games do show it. But let's be honest, it's not a PlayStation 4, it's not an Xbox One, and it's not a high-end PC. On the tablet itself, though, the games run at 720p, and they look amazing. They look super sharp because they're using every pixel. On a TV, though, things do get a little blurry, and you do see some jaggies. Probably the biggest issue with the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo in general is the games lineup. The Nintendo titles are always great, but there's never enough of them. The Switch is launching with only a handful of new games, but 10 titles overall. 1-2 Switch, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, Just Dance 2017, Human Resource Machine, I Am Setsuna, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Little Inferno, Skylanders Imaginators, Super Bomberman R, and World of Goo. I got to check out several of the Nintendo Switch launch titles and a couple of games coming out in the months following the launch. The game I got to spend the most time with was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I gotta say, I didn't really know what to expect going in. Yes, I had read that it was open world and you could complete the game in any order, but I wasn't quite ready for how different it really is. The modern Zeldas have gotten a bit stale, with most of them feeling like Ocarina of Time clones. In Breath of the Wild, you start with no shirt and no pants. You find them at the start, and you find items in the wild like an RPG. It feels like Skyrim meets Zelda, but with the polish Nintendo is known for. There are physics objects. I pushed a boulder down a hill into some moblins. It was hilarious. The game feels different. There's a jump button. You can climb trees. Link feels like a part of the world. The demo left me wanting so much more. And if it wasn't for the fact that this was also coming out for the Wii U, I would say this is the system seller for the Nintendo Switch. I also got to check out Mario Kart 8. If you've played Mario Kart on the Wii U, you know what to expect here. It's that game plus a DLC. Plus, your characters can now pick up 2 items, kind of like Double Dash. There's also an improved battle mode where you're actually battling an arena instead of the courses like the Wii U version. I also checked out Super Bomberman R, which is a old school Bomberman game updated. It's 3D, but it's top down. The one thing I did notice about this is I had some controller issues where it didn't seem to be responding to my input. This might have been due to some interference with the hundreds of controllers. I also looked at Fast RMX, which is basically Wipeout, but you have to change the color of your ship to match the boost color in order to pick it up. The last thing I got to check out was Splatoon 2. Now this feels pretty much exactly the same as Splatoon 1 with some new maps and some new modes. So some final thoughts about the Switch. Going into this event, I wondered if my anticipation for getting one would kind of wear off after getting to play it. And actually the opposite is true. It fulfills the promises made by Nintendo. It's a console that plays traditional games with traditional controls that you can play anywhere with anyone. They still have the weird motion control stuff, but it seems like the real focus is on just fun games, and that's what Nintendo does best. Everyone knows you spend a third of your life on the toilet, and now you can play Mario Kart at the same time. Sony made this same promise with the Vita, but it seems like Nintendo is behind the Switch as their main console, so hopefully it can be the true play anywhere machine. Thank you so much for watching. If there's something I missed or didn't cover in this video that you would like to know, please feel free to reach out in the comments below, or you can also reach me at rbristow on Twitter. Thanks again.